Hi, my name is Grecia and this is my Recuperative project. The origin of art has various sources of expression, such as painting, music, and sculpture, aiming other disciplines, consolidating itself in beginning from to the Upper Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic in the Stone Age, until consolidating in the Age of Metals. The history of art deals with the artistic evolution through time. To know what history is about in his area, one must resort to the definition of art history as that activity or product created by the human beings with the aim of transmitting ideas or emotion from an aesthetic and communicative perspective, which guides a vision of the world through plastic, sound, linguistic, or mixed resource. The origin of the work of art itself is in the prehistory. However, it is difficult to date which was the first work of art. Science, archaeological remains are never ceased to be found that determine a new avenue of research in the scientific and artistic fields. Manifestation of art in everyday life. Art in daily life. Art is healthiest form expression. Art is present in all the small experiences of life. In observing a beautiful sunset, enjoying a rainy day, appreciating nature itself. Art is everything in life, and what guides lives. Art is pleasures and appreciation. Art is any artistic expression that a man can develop. Any symbol of appreciation, that is why we are always exposed to it. Art is closely related to human nature. The different forms of artistic representation correspond to the need, or rather to the fundamental characteristic of expressing themselves that human beings possess. Art plays a mediating role and driving force in communication, since the artist through his creation transmit not only emotions but also messages and make us reflect on our existence, social problems, or lives in general. From this perspective, it becomes a tool that can change our educated society. There are many ways of classifying art, such as periods, cultures of origin, or the main one, according to the nature of its representation. Thus, we can talk about decorative arts, designed to produce beautiful and functional objects, thus combining the industrial and artisan worlds. Plastic arts, it is understood by the painting, drawing, sculpture, engraving, and other forms of ceramics and goldsmithing. Performing arts that require to be represented in a formal setting, a theater, for example, or informal, a square, and that have an audience that contemplates the shows. Traditionally, it refers to dance, theater, music, and cinema. Literary arts. Literatura is the art form that uses language and writing to produce aesthetic works, be it rhyming and descriptive, poetry, narrative, novel, short story, or theatrical text, dramaturgy. Traditionally, 9 artistic disciplines are recognized, also called fine arts, which are painting, sculpture, literature, music, architecture, dance, movie theater, photography, sequential art, and although there are other types of art that are not yet formally recognized, such as gastronomy, street art, or fashion, so There is much debate regarding what the, the then art can be. Art does not fulfill explicit functions, nor is it applicable to anything, but at the same time, it can fulfill involuntary functions. Document of an personally testimony, adorning or beautification of a space or a city, or a vehicle for the transmission of cultural, ethical, or spiritual values. Finally, a conclusion writer's opinion is that today have undergone very important change with respect to what was considered art in the second half of the 19th century. It is from the last decades of that century and fundamentally as a result of the artistic avant-garde of the 20th century. Art is a form of manifestation of the human being, where it seeks to communicate its thoughts, ideas, emotions, and feelings, influenced by its relationships and vision of the world. Through means such as painting, music, dance, literature, and many more. Art is component of culture, the reflection power of the society with him, which arises, which reflects economic and social realities, understood within Athenian space. Art is one of the most special expression of the human being and means of communication. Different exhibitions around the world make it known that man always wants to do communicate something, and for this there are many to represent it.